CSF late night.
Clemson Nation, we represent all in.
We're just little old Clemson.
LSU fucking came stuck his flag in my boot.
Roll back, what? Fuck you.
Roll Tide! Roll!
Oh, bitch. Are you that stupid?
Yes, I am.
I'm not going to sugarcoat things. It's a fucking shit show.
Oh, welcome into CSF Late Nights. It's good to actually be back with you this evening. My name is Rob Sanders. I come to you from Columbia, South Carolina, right in the heart of what they like to think is SEC country, but they should be in the SoCon. I do have a couple of co-hosts. Both of them are actually in a part of SEC country. They can claim that. We'll start up top with the gnome, Jonathan. Jonathan, what's up, brother?
Oh, living the dream. Welcome back.
It's and of course down on the bottom we've got our buddy Mr.
Our sloppy
Abbott,
party bottom.
the sloppy party bottom this evening.
right.
He was late, ladies and gentlemen. The Tonight Show is an outstanding show we have planned for you. It's great in the fact that no one, ladies and gentlemen, no one has the clap, AIDS, whatever other list of things that has been taking us down the past couple of weeks. It even got me, man. I had the issues with got my COVID vaccine and it knocked me out. Jonathan had his issues. David decided he wanted to be a world champion softball coach. We had all kind of stuff that's been just keeping us from doing this fine program. So it's nice to be back in the saddle a little bit here, right?
I did do a show from the hospital. I mean,
you did, but you kept dropping in and out. That was like, what, 3 weeks ago?
When he was suffering from gonosyphilia, he certainly did log in and do a show.
The nurse was hot, man.
Jonathan, all right, Andre says Jonathan has AIDS, but it's just dormant. Ooh. Man, what a way to start off the show with that.
I thought gnomes had super immune systems and weren't prone to such.
Their immune systems they have the immune system of a man, but they're half the man. So it's like doubled up.
I have half of an immune system. There's that.
Holy shit! Yeah, well, that's Jonathan tried to grow. He took some of that cream he thought was going to make things grow, and it ended up killing his immune system. Congratulations on that. I've been watching House. You guys remember House?
House MD. Watched every episode of that show.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm rewatching it now on the cock. That's what I call Peacock, the cock. So now I've been watching the episodes on the cock, and I keep wondering, we need to get House out of retirement and go figure out what's wrong with our damn gnomes so we can get back on the air.
Hugh Laurie was amazing in that role.
He is great.
You see, I think Doogie Howser would have figured it out by now, but he's off the air.
Those House.
Lisa Edelstein, hot.
MILF.
I'll say that on this show. Edelstein, whatever, hot. We'll just call her Lisa Hot because that's what she is. Oof, smoldering.
Absolutely.
Anybody like Jennifer Morrison? No. I want the boss lady. That's what I'm saying. I could be a guy on the show and talk about stuff like that, right? Nobody's gonna get offended. Anybody like Jennifer?
That's
right.
Wild was on that show.
I'll get done with one and you bring in the other. I'll show you average. I'll show you sloppy party bottom woman. Bring both your asses in here. Yeah, that's not what we're going to talk about.
Olivia Wilde was on that show.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah. Anyway, I've got some numbers tonight that I want to bring to you, and I thought we could talk a little bit about Georgia. Now, what?
The fucking cat's outside. I got to go get him from outside.
Well, you and I will discuss your top 25 list.
I'm listening.
You're a pussy chaser. Get out of here. You're the only one on this show.
Go chase that tail, baby. You do you. We'll do the show.
Anyway. Well, I wanted to talk a minute about Georgia being the new last chance U because this kind of affects the LSU program a little bit. Eric Gilbert, first he said, I want to go to LSU. Then he got to LSU and had some issues. I'm not trying to badmouth the kid here, but I don't know exactly what happened down there, but the reality is he decided he wanted to go somewhere else. Said, hey, I'm going to go to Florida. And he gets to Florida and doesn't even enroll in classes. So where does he end up? He ends up at the University of Georgia. Georgia is the new Last Chance U. I don't know what's going on with this young man.
That's where he's from.
I haven't been in rooms with him or whatever. I have no clue. What I do know is that he had a troubled past. I think that's fair with the way that he left LSU and basically told the people from Florida, hey, I'm coming, and then doesn't even enroll in classes. That says a good bit there. If you say I'm coming to school there and then you don't enroll in classes. Also, I don't know if he's going to be academically eligible this year or not.
Man,
that works. If you don't go to class the entire spring, how can you be academically eligible for the fall? Now, if he does get to play at Georgia, we will know that Georgia is literally selling their souls to the devil because down the line, someone's going to call them out on it. Wait a minute, this kid didn't go to class in the spring. How the hell is he going to go to class, not go to class in the spring, but be eligible in the fall?
What better way to protect your GPA than to just drop classes?
Yeah, well, Georgia's doing this because they're trying to, win that first national title since 1980?
Yes.
Yes,
the year
won
before Clemson won their first.
Right. Clemson's won 3 titles since then. So let's put that into perspective.
I'll say this about the guy, or at least the local sports people I listen to.
Right.
One in particular. He seems, because every time he talks about him, he seems to know what that issue is, but he never says it. He never calls it out or drops his personal business.
Look,
which I find
it's kind of hard to just to shit on the kid when you don't know all the stuff. I mean, what I've said is that he had some issues at LSU. I don't think that's me bashing him.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying kudos to this local sports guy that seems to know the issue, his personal issue, and he's never ever brought it up. Oh, he brings up that he had personal issues, but he never said what it is, which fine. Hey, and he's back at home, close to his house, whatever.
Yeah. We're gonna take phone calls here in a minute, but I want to bring this up for the folks that are out there. Of course, Darion Kendrick is the other guy that they got, and we know what he's had issues with because we have a police report. We can talk about what he did. You have issues if you end up in front of your girlfriend's house at 3:00 in the morning and you're passed out drunk in a car with a loaded gun that is not registered to you sitting in your lap with marijuana in the car. This is all from the Rock Hill Police Department. What I wrote, it's what they wrote. The big thing with him, I think he was an all ACC performer at Clemson, even though he was in Dabo Swinney's doghouse. Dabo Swinney tried to baptize him at the end of practice, it seemed like every damn week, to keep him on the team. But Dabo Swinney had enough. A guy who prides himself in being one of the most forgiving men on the planet and tries to, as he says, lives an over-the-top Christ existence of, hey, I'm going to try to save every human being that I can. If Dabo Swinney's done with you, I think there's some problems there. But that does not matter at the University of Georgia. Come on down. You've had pot issues. Hey, everybody's got pot issues. You can go over there and stay with that guy who decided, oh, there's a boot on my car. I'm just going to break it off and throw it at somebody. Don't worry. We'll take care of you at the University of Georgia. Our coach is a women's golf visor and doesn't know what the hell's going on. He is a souped up version of Will Muschamp. That's what we've got at Georgia. They're the last chance U of the SEC. That's what they are.
Here's what I love. So
I saw that.
They signed Darion Kendrick and they get Eric Gilbert, and the knee-jerk reaction from Georgia fans is, we're going to win it all.
Yeah. But let me
you've had the talent on your team for a decade to win it all, and guess what you've never done?
Never
won it all.
let me give you this too, and you guys can tell me if you agree with me or not, or you can tell me to go screw myself. I'm fine with that because we do this show
anyway. We know.
Yeah, we don't care if we hurt anybody's feelings. But here's the big thing: if by chance, well, first of all, Darion Kendrick, judging by the Georgia roster and the research that I've done, he is the most talented defensive back that they have between the lines, meaning that as long as he's on the field, he's going to be great. Okay? It's just a question of whether or not they can keep his head above ground off the field. Now, here's the other thing, though. Do you really think that any player can walk into an SEC game plan off the street and be ready to go in 87 days, playing against a top 3 opponent in the country? Do you really think that's going to happen? Now, the entire Georgia secondary is rebuilt because they had 3 guys go to the NFL. So they brought in 3 guys, all of them transfers. One of them is from West Virginia. I can't remember where the other one's from. The Georgia secondary is talented, but probably misguided at the first of the season. DJ Uiagalelei is going to have a freaking field day.
Well,
They're not going to know the entire scheme right off the bat. That's too much to ask of anyone.
No, but out of the people that are going to play in the secondary for Georgia that game, who knows the Clemson scheme the best?
He knows the Clemson defensive scheme. He's running against
the offensive scheme. They practice against the offense.
Yeah.
No, they generally run scout teams against the defense, so you have an idea of what the offense that you're playing is at. I mean, he's going to know some of this stuff, but he's had to square off with some good guys at Clemson. But I don't know. I think getting into the scheme at Georgia is going to be hard for anybody. And if not, it's just the more and more I think about it, that goes for Gilbert too. He's going to be, going into a new offense with coaches that he's never played for. It takes time for anybody.
Imagine if you had basically a brand new team, not just one player, and a brand new defense, and you had that little time to prepare. What your record might be.
I mean, realistically, guys, Darion Kendrick is going to go and he's going to step onto the field. He's going to have Kirby Smart, who's a defensive genius, if you ask Georgia fans. They hired Will Muschamp, who's another defensive genius. What better setup could this kid have?
Yeah, well.
Good. I got through it with a straight face. I couldn't hold it.
Look, let me give you some perspective on that. The first defensive player taken in the NFL draft this past season was from the University of South Carolina in J.C. Horn. He was coached by Will Muschamp, and he looked kind of silly when he was out there on the field. He has all the physical talent in the world, but they put him in bad coaching spots. So let's just slow our roll just a little bit on that. And I think Darion Kendrick's a great player. But, by the way, he played both ways at Clemson one season. I mean, he's that kind of an athlete that he could play on both sides of the ball in college. He did that at Clemson. And I think walking in, he'll be the best defensive back Georgia has. But the question is, can he pick up the stuff quick enough? If they were playing Clemson like Game 6, he would be a problem. Game 1, not so much. Not so much, ladies and gentlemen. In my opinion, anyway. You guys, what do you guys think on that? Am I right on the last chance you thing, or am I just being too harsh on the Georgia program?
Oh, so that's the question?
Yeah. I mean, do you think they're last chance you or not? I mean,
the way they're acting right now, taking in all these cast-offs, I would say it's not too far-fetched.
Not too far. They're the last chance you of the SEC. So, anyway.
I mean, is that a comparison? Is that a comparison to Miami?
I said the last chance.
Are you just using the letter U as university?
University.
No, last chance university of the SEC.
Because where else would these kids go? They aren't going to. Eric Gilbert.
Yeah.
I guess UGA or some other really.
I guess currently that's because 2010ish, 11ish. I mean, that was Auburn. Last chance you.
Well, look. Let's be honest about this too. If you're Eric Gilbert, I question his parenting. And what I mean by that is his advisors. Let's get this straight. You're gonna go and you went where I pick at LSU a lot, okay? But last season, I think we all can agree that the offense was not the problem at LSU. They still finished in the top 10 in the country as far as offense goes. So offense was not the problem.
That's with three different quarterbacks.
Right. With three different quarterbacks, and one of them deciding to go to Auburn. But take all of that out the window for a minute. You're going in from where offense is important to Kirby Smart. You're going to go play for Kirby Smart, who had JT Daniels as his fourth-string quarterback last year.
I won't be surprised.
Ran off Justin Fields. That's where you're going.
Yeah.
I question the parenting and the advisors of Eric Gilbert a lot. You don't want to be at
surprised.
Go to Oklahoma. You could go to Florida. You could go to Oklahoma State, where there's, the mullet down there likes to play some offense. You could go to Oregon, where they would do some stuff for you. Hell, Ohio State would give you a look, sir. There are plenty of offensive programs around the country, but you chose to go to suck-ass Georgia.
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised that when all said and done, his skills up here mentally outdo and outweigh his physical skills, that we don't even see him in the NFL. So there's that. I mean, there's issues, I think.
Somebody, if the talent is there, somebody will take the chance.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's going to pan out.
Aaron Hernandez played for the Patriots.
Aaron Hernandez, yeah, and how?
Were you going to say how'd that work out?
He played for what, 2 years?
He was an all-pro too, by the way.
He was an all-pro.
Speaking of the U,
talent was there, head was not.
Yeah, the heads that he blown off, those were in different places too.
Wow, wow, what a waste!
Well, I'm just being honest. He shot people on the head.
And then you see somebody like Gronkowski, who's just so fun-loving. It's like he doesn't even have to do shit, and he can just go out, play, and have fun, and win Super Bowls. And then fucking dumbass Aaron Hernandez.
Well,
sometimes
Jimmy between the ears is important.
Jimmy Graham went to Miami too, huh?
Is he in Miami?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm trying to get our system moving here, but some reason it's not working. But
yes, Jimmy Graham went to Miami.
Yeah, but no. The thing that gets me though is that these guys have talent, but I mean, here's the thing, and I was going to ask you guys this too. Look, we could talk about LSU. We could talk about them being where they're going to be this season and all of that. But let's just be honest. Let's just be honest about one thing here. If I told you had to pick one team that you could have right now, and that would be your pick for the national title, would you take Alabama or would you take Georgia? I think that if we just took our hatred of Alabama out of the realm here, I mean, Alabama's the better team.
Can we
jumping on all these guys?
I make fun of Alabama all the time, but I don't hate them.
I mean, you respect who they are.
Right.
That's
I respect
what I'm saying.
what they do as a program.
Even with everything that you're doing, sir. Right. And Andre, I'm working on the phone system, sir. Even with everything that they're doing right now, all of this great stuff that they're doing.
I made my pick.
Really stop and look at it. They're not. They're right now, technically, if we had to pick, they'd be the second best team in the conference. Just throwing that out there.
I don't even know if they'd be second best.
That's what I was thinking.
You can well, you could put it. Who would you have above them? I mean,
Florida. Even though that ended badly for Florida last season,
later on,
this is a new season. So we'll see what Florida does. But I mean, in the East, who is Georgia's competition every year? Florida.
Well, that's, by the way, we're gonna get into that momentarily too, because I pulled some numbers that are interesting to say the least. And
you know what, Rob, I'm sorry to cut you off, But you don't like us comparing the SEC to the ACC or to other conferences. We're conference almost, but let's do this then. What if Georgia played in the SEC West every year?
Well,
how would that work out for Georgia?
Here, I've got some numbers here that I can kind of help with that. So let's look at it from this perspective. Since I did these numbers back to 2016.
God damn. Come here.
Why are you cussing? What the hell's wrong with you?
I'm cursing at the damn puppy. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Anyway.
He's on his floor.
Here's the thing with this. Since 2016, I've got for the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, these are ranked wins in the regular season, not in the bowl season, not in the SEC championship games. These are ranked wins, teams that finish ranked. Here's who Georgia has beaten since 2016. 2016, they beat Auburn. That's their only top 25 win, team that finished ranked in the AP poll. 2017, you got Notre Dame, Mississippi State, and Auburn. 2018, they had wins over Florida and Kentucky. 2019, wins over Notre Dame, Florida, and Auburn. In 2020, they played two ranked teams in the regular season and lost by double digits to both. So if you add up all of those wins, you get 9 total top 25 wins over the past 5 seasons. Okay.
But how many losses?
How many losses? The thing is that when you look at the number of losses, I've got those too. But I've also pulled Alabama's, and I want to bring those into the mix here too, because I've got Alabama and LSU's numbers as well.
Okay,
Alabama,
so before you even say anything, I
Sure.
can tell you that historically, Georgia and Alabama play two of the easier schedules as far as SEC schedules go, even though Alabama plays in the West. LSU is going to have more games against top 25 opponents and probably more wins. And even though they're finishing with shittier records, it is what it is.
Well, let me finish, okay?
Sure.
So in 2016, Alabama had wins over Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU. 2017, wins over LSU, Mississippi State. Those are the 2 top 25 wins in the regular season. 2018, their only top 25 win was against LSU. In 2019, they didn't have a top 25 win. For a second. No, I mean that's real. Teams that finished in top 25 in the regular season, Alabama did not beat one of them.
Well, that's LSU did not help because LSU was not in the top 25, which is typical.
Yeah. In 2020, Alabama had 2 top 25 wins over Texas A&M and UGA. Okay? So Alabama, in the same amount of time, had 9 top 25 wins.
Same as Georgia.
The same as Georgia. Now, when we go to LSU, 2016 was not really a fair year to LSU because I think you guys went, 8-5, something like that?
Yes.
It was kind of an off season for you, but you had 0 top 25 wins. 2017, 1 top 25 win over Auburn. 2018, 1 top 25 win over Georgia. 2019 was, your banner year, wins over Alabama, Texas, Auburn, and Florida. So 1/4 of your schedule had teams that were finished in the top 25. So lights out for LSU that season. 2020 last year was a joke, but you still finished with 1 top 25 win. That would be over Georgia. LSU finishes with 7 top 25 wins in the same era. But
Georgia.
But here let me make sure I put this in here too. 5 of those and you had five matchups against Alabama. Okay. Now I know Alabama's kind of the measuring stick for everybody, and I'm not trying to defend LSU because you guys are LSU fans, but it has to be said, you played a top 5 Alabama team every single year. Georgia did not do that. Okay, and I think that's fair to put in there because of, I mean, that's just what you've got. So the other thing I want to bring up too is I've got Clemson's top 25 wins over the same time period. In 2016, Clemson had top 25 wins over Auburn, Louisville, and FSU. 2017, it was Auburn, Virginia Tech, and NC State. They also went onto the Plains and won down at Auburn to open the season in 2016, which winning down there is not an easy task at all. 2018, they had wins over Texas A&M and Syracuse. They did not have a top 25 win in 2019. In 2020, their top 25 win was over Miami. Add all of that up, Clemson had 9 top 25 wins, the same amount that Alabama has, same amount that Georgia has. So why do I bring this up? Because when you look at it from this perspective, the idea that Clemson plays a piss poor schedule is stupid. I just showed you they had the same amount of top 25 wins as Alabama does. Same amount of top 25 wins that Georgia does. And remember, Georgia did not have a top 25 win last year. They're over I think it's a year plus since they had a top 25 win. So I say all of this because when people talk about, oh, we play in X conference, sometimes that's valid. If we're talking about baseball with the SEC, I will listen to you because there is a ton of talent there. When it comes to football, especially if you're playing in the SEC East, you probably should put your hat in your hand and walk on. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
First of all, for baseball, I absolutely agree. There is no tougher conference than the East, than the SEC West specifically. Though the SEC East isn't shabby either. They got Tennessee, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Florida.
But just to jump in there, I mean, next year or last year could be the East in baseball. Like, it's not like the SEC West is just perennial every fucking year over East like we are in football. The East does bring it.
Oh yeah, in baseball, absolutely.
Right.
You know, the only football conference I really like to dump on, and the only reason why I give Clemson a bunch of shit is because there's a bunch of Clemson fans in this group, because it started out as a Clemson LSU thing. Actually, before that, it wasn't even Clemson LSU. It was
Oklahoma.
It became. So there's a bunch of Clemson fans, and it's just fun. But the only conference that I really dump on is the Big Ten, because they have Ohio State, which underperforms almost every year, despite having those high expectations.
You know what was interesting though? What's interesting? I think Bill Perrell posted that earlier in the group, which was what the last 5 or 7 years, the Power Fives and who won the conference championship, and Ohio State won as many as Alabama did. It was only Clemson and Oklahoma that actually won every freaking time.
Alabama can't play themselves. So do you understand what I'm saying?
Look,
I mean, they don't play themselves every year, so that's kind of, but I really
Alabama didn't win every time.
You're right, they didn't win every time. But in the SEC,
in the top, but the Alabama is, I think, the lowest in the past 5 years that they've finished is like 6th.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
So you're talking about how Ohio State and Alabama had the same number of conference titles each over that same time span, the CFP era.
I'm talking about Alabama doesn't play themselves.
Alabama, and if you go back further than the CFP era, Alabama and Ohio State are consistently winning those, and you had Penn State win one, and you had Michigan State win one. But that is not a normal thing at all. That does not normally happen. Just like it's not normal for somebody other than, at this point in the Saban era, for anybody other than Alabama to win the SEC. It just Ohio State is the standard bearer of the Big Ten.
Right, but when you really stop and look at it, though, from the perspective of, if you want to run your mouth about the Wake Forest and everything of the world, I can halfway buy into that. But to just look down upon teams from other conferences when, I mean, especially if you're in the SEC East, I mean, your schedule is kind of hot dog water. So,
I would say Georgia's schedule is more hot dog water. I think that Florida plays a better schedule on a yearly basis than Georgia.
That's because they've got LSU on the schedule every year.
They do have LSU on the schedule, but they also schedule.
It's not fair to put. Yeah, but they haven't played a conference game, a non-conference game outside of the state of Florida since 1992.
But they're still playing Florida State and Miami. And when those programs return to any kind of prominence, because those are historically good programs.
If you go back,
needs them to be better.
And what David's saying is, if we were having this conversation in 1998 and they're still playing Florida, Miami, and Florida State, wow, look at them. However, they haven't done shit in that long. Maybe Florida needs to rethink.
Well, Florida State hasn't done anything since Winston left.
Well, yeah, 2000. Yeah,
but
I mean, I guess they had two really good seasons in this century, but I don't know how you can say the Big Ten
title in 2014. So
yeah,
they won a national in 2014. So
I don't know how you can say, but didn't Florida State have a really good year, like in the early, like 2000, 2001, 2002, something like that. But I don't know how you can say Big Ten is worse than Pac-12.
I'm trying to get folks to do is judge your team by who they are, not by what conference that they play in. That's if you want to have that kind of conversation, we can have that. If you want to come to me as an LSU fan and say, you know what, Rob, you give us a lot of shit, but at least we scheduled to go to Texas. We scheduled to go to UCLA and start the season. That's respectable to me. That's not Alabama-ing up and being silly and scheduling the Citadel and Charleston Southern and think that I'm supposed to think that your schedule is just the absolute greatest ever. But when you come at me with, well, you play in an ACC schedule, it's bullshit. That just tells me you don't watch football. You sit around with your friends, you all have circle jerks, and you talk about how Tony the Tiger looks great, or what's the Tiger's name for LSU? What's the Tiger's name? Mike the Tiger. Mike the Tiger is the best Tiger ever. That's just ignorant. It just shows you don't watch football much.
Well, Mike is a great fucking Tiger.
He's better than the Clemson Tiger. The Clemson Tiger looks like he's on meth. I've said before, we've got to do better than that. I mean, we got to do better than that. Whoever over there is saying Clemson's schedule is weak sauce, you're just not a good football fan. You don't know what you're talking about. I just showed you they have the same amount of top 25 wins as Alabama does.
I mean, and Clemson has to play their conference schedule. There's not really a way around that. Nope. And they beat the shit out of everybody. You can't really fault them for it.
Nope. They've had, one close game in the past couple of years. They went up to North Carolina and won by a point. The Syracuse game a couple years ago was they had the thing where Trevor Lawrence was out and the backup went in. Guy who's going to start for App State this year, Bryce something or another. I can't remember his name, but he came in and led Clemson back. But Clemson handles their schedule, and it's not necessarily just about that. I'm talking about like Georgia's the easy pick here because they constantly talk about how great they are, and their schedule shows that they don't really do well against the top 25. Like this whole team they're bringing in this year, absolutely great. I'll give you that. They have talent there. But you had that team last year with a better secondary, and you think that you played two top 25 teams and lost by double digits to both, and we're supposed to just sit here and think you're going to mop the floor with Clemson and Charlotte? Not buying that. Las Vegas isn't buying it either. That's why you're an underdog. So the level of athletes are different top to bottom. The ACC is a basketball conference. Yes, the ACC is basketball. I'll give you that. But To say the Clemson schedule is weak just doesn't make any sense.
Well,
if Clemson's schedule is weak, Clemson's playing Texas A&M, Auburn, teams like that, then they're weak, right? Just saying. Think about it. Think about it. And if you're an Alabama fan saying that, the last time you played Clemson, the team that quote-unquote plays that weak schedule, you lost by 4 touchdowns. Close your dick suckers. Seriously. You have absolutely nothing to say to me. You got your dick kicked in.
Speaking of
doing what's that shampoo? The starts with no. Well, we could say Selsun Blue. He's doing Selsun Blue commercials. I'm working on the phones. For some reason, it's like the Google Voice is not working right now. But I may have a backwards way of making it work here, Andre. Hold on a second.
Dave, what happened to your TV? I thought you were going to have the TV on.
I was on the phone before we got on.
Oh, man. That would have been awesome. I'd love to watch that game again.
Which game?
I told Jonathan, I DM'd him. I said, I think I'm going to play the 2019 National Championship game during the broadcast.
I don't have a problem watching that game. I mean, that was a great game. It was a shining light for LSU. I mean, it was that one hit we've all been talking about. Absolutely great. Do your thing.
The first quarter, y'all did good.
Hey, look, we didn't have the team to play with you then. we didn't have the team. You had a generational type team with a 24-year-old quarterback, and you had great talent that we just didn't have. You were the better team. By the way, you played Clemson, who was the second best team that you played all season. Write that down. Some people don't want to hear that either, but that's the absolute truth.
Wait,
I believe that. I believe that Alabama and Clemson were the 2 best teams we played that year. I don't believe that Oklahoma was the 3rd best team we played that year.
No.
We destroyed that.
I'm going to call you, and we're going to do it this way because I can't get my Google Voice to work tonight. But we're going to bring Andre into the program.
Is my YouTube messed up? Like we only have 2 people watching?
Hello, Andre. What's up?
Hey, I love this conversation about Georgia. I got something to add to this crap. So tonight, I was at a tournament. I'm not going to name his name. He's a good friend of mine, right? And we were discussing Georgia and all this other BS. And he was, telling me, oh, you're talking about you got one shining moment. Said, actually, like, last national championship, he's like 1980. Said, dude, I wasn't even born in 1980. So we're sitting there talking. And he's talking about the year that Georgia was undefeated going into the SEC championship, right? Now, I need y'all to make sure you're sitting down because this is going to blow your damn mind. Y'all ready?
How about it?
All right. He was sitting there like, well, it's not our fault we're undefeated and we lost in the SEC championship game. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? You're complaining because you lost in the SEC championship game and prevented you from going to the national championship.
Yeah.
What?
That's generally how that works.
Yeah.
The excuses. Really? Dude. I'm like, dude, you could have just fixed it if you just won the SEC championship game. Just an idea.
Andre, I am so looking forward to ending Georgia's season before
what year are you talking about?
Win that game so bad. I mean, it's like I don't look forward to very many games every year, but just to shut the mouths of these Georgia dick suckers that will stay out of my DMs and stop calling my show and stop with their bullshit. I mean, if they actually won something, I give LSU shit about being a one-hit wonder, but at least you won one. On my entire life on this planet, they've got one national title.
Andre, what SEC championship? What year are you talking about?
I will say this.
Hold on a second. Yep. Hold on. He can't hear you, but Jonathan wants to know what were we saying, Jonathan?
Which year are you talking about? The SEC championship game they lost.
What year did they lose when they were undefeated in the SEC championship game? Was that the?
I can't remember. I'm not sure if it was BCS era or what it was.
Because I'm wondering right. If you're talking about the year.
He does say that Clemson's going to smash their faces in. So at least he knows that.
Yeah, well, and it's the thing that gets me though is that even if you look at Georgia from last season, they had games where Mizzou gave them a good game. I mean, there were several teams that played them well. It wasn't like they almost lost to fucking Cincinnati. I mean, let's just slow it down a little bit. You're not a world-beating team. You're not like that Joe Burrow team that went out there and just fucking gang rape people. You don't have that kind of talent there. Yeah, what's up?
How many, ever since Missouri's been in the SEC,
Right.
how many conference championships has Georgia won as opposed to Missouri? Since the time that Missouri's been in the SEC.
I think Georgia's
That would be hilarious.
I think Georgia's got 4 or conference titles or East titles.
No, just conference titles since they've been in the SEC.
Well, now remember, Mizzou hasn't won
Missouri.
it. Mizzou has 2 SEC East titles.
Oh, East, okay,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's East, okay.
I think Georgia, they came in 2014, if I remember correctly. And since then, Georgia's got 4, I think it's 4 or 5 SEC East titles. But Mizzou, who, for some reason pisses everybody off, they've got 2 SEC East titles. So wrap your head around that for a second.
That's insane.
By the way,
Yeah,
Kentucky.
I agree with Jonathan that I truly don't know if Georgia's going to be the second best team in the freaking division.
Well,
Because I mean, Florida and then Tennessee. I mean, I got to get suspicion Tennessee's going to be better than advertised.
well, we shall see on Tennessee.
That's one thing, Andre. I know you can't hear me.
Way doing the call, this is schedule-fied.
I know. I can't. My Google Voice is not working. It's like it just keeps sitting there and it's spinning, and it's like then it tells me Google Voice is down. Please try
Well,
again
it
later.
rings through and it gets to the voicemail.
I know, but I can't bring up my dialing interface here. It's fucking stupid.
Well, Kale broke it. That's the problem. Kale broke it. He fucked
fucking
it up.
Hale Hall. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
That's all I wanted to bring up. Roll Tide off the cliff. Screw Alabama. Screw them all.
thank
and
you.
I hope y'all do match Georgia in, because I swear to God, I got a lot of friends from Atlanta to come into Lafayette. I will not let them live it down all freaking year. It would make my year. That might be up there with LSU actually beating Alabama.
Georgia season will end before Labor Day. I mean, I'm that confident. And then we can have to hear all we're going to hear is I think I've got it written down. But to Andre, I'll read that when you're done, brother. Hey, thanks for calling the show, man.
All right, thanks.
All right, there you go. Andre calling into the show as I get my ghetto phone system over here worked out. By the way, go ahead.
I think, he brought up Tennessee, and we talk about what the ACC could use is, Miami, Florida State, even remember Virginia Tech back in the day. I mean, Tennessee was somebody. And we keep saying, we don't keep saying, but people keep saying it's going to be Tennessee. It's going to be Tennessee. They go hire somebody like Lane Kiffin. The SEC East could really use a Tennessee to bring them back up, When's Tennessee coming back?
Actually, I talked about that on my show this week. I was like, who's going to be the next team other than Florida or Georgia to win the East? I think every
Missouri.
There's a 2 to 3 a year recruiting gap, in my opinion. To give you some perspective, Mizzou, they're like lighting the world on fire up there because their recruiting class has 4 4-star players.
Wow.
Think about that. They're talking about up there like, man, this is the absolute best recruiting class we've ever had.
You talking about wrestling?
No, I'm talking about Mizzou. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but just to put that into perspective. Now, then you have, I'm not even going to talk about Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt, it's an intramural sport. But if you look at Kentucky, they finished with their recruiting class last year at number 26 in the country, which was the best in program history. If LSU had a 26th ranked recruiting class, y'all are firing the fucking coach.
Yes.
Seriously. So I think it's just a matter of there's so much. I mean, after Florida and Georgia, South Carolina had a couple of good years because that was when Spurrier was there, and he averaged his classes in the top 15. Okay. And he hit some home runs. Jadeveon Clowney, Stephon Gilmore, Marshawn Lattimore, or Marcus Lattimore, guys like that. And that's how you have to do it. But I mean, South Carolina's in a complete rebuild right now. I don't see any other team from the SEC East that could come up and say, you know what, I'm going to be that next team. I just don't, for the right now anyway.
Well, and you know what the problem is going to be is there's the possibility Tennessee goes out and gets a Georgia win or goes out and gets a Florida win, but they're also going to go lose 2-3 games to Missouri, South Carolina, Kentucky. They're not going to finish it all. They can't put them all together in one season.
Yep, I agree. I just I don't think there's any team that's there that can really set the world on fire. That's just my opinion. But in the West, though,
you always have that chance in the West where Texas A&M puts it together or Auburn puts it together.
Would anybody be shocked if if LSU won the West, if Texas A&M won the West, Alabama can obviously win the West.
Auburn.
I mean, I don't know about that with that coach they've got, but I mean, it's not out of the realm of if we put Auburn in the mix, those four theoretically year in and year out could win the West. It's not
you could see those four fan bases. You can see those of course, Alabama. But you can see those four fan bases going into each year with legitimate hopes, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know about A&M. They've never won the West.
Yeah. Well, no, this is true, but I mean, they're not shabby.
But they have the talent to do it. They have top 15 recruiting classes across the board. I mean, they've got players that play there.
In the state of Texas,
they get good recruits.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they get a number 26 class and oh my God, this is the best thing ever. They get 4-star guys and it's like, all right, best thing ever. I looked it up and Clemson had more 4-star players transfer in the past calendar year than Mizzou's gotten to commit in the past, I think it's 3 years. So just some perspective there. And I do that because I follow the Clemson program here. I'm sure I could look at LSU with the guys that you've lost or that have transferred or whatever and probably have the same thing. I mean, look, TJ Finley was was a highly rated quarterback, at least a 4-star guy. Eric Gilbert was a 5-star, player that was all over the place. There's 2 right there.
Finley saw the writing on the wall, though.
Yeah, well.
He was going to be behind Brendan. He was going to be behind Johnson.
He wanted
and
to.
Yeah. And then boy coming from St. Thomas More after that.
I think you're exactly right. He looked up there and he's like, wait a minute, I'm going to be behind Brennan and whoever the other 2 quarterbacks are. Or he thought, I can be better than Bo Nix. I'd rather go against one guy than have to compete against 3.
Right.
Just saying. And Bo Nix is trash, by the way. So let's just be honest on that. So
anyway, got that great new offensive coordinator down there in Auburn that he can go play for.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
The freshman coming out, I can't think of his name, Dave. The freshman coming out of Lafayette this year. He'll be a freshman next year out of St. Thomas More. The top rated quarterback in the state.
The only quarterback in the state I'm paying attention to right now is Arch.
But well, you know what? Something that's interesting about him. I've heard through a couple different folks that it's down to Alabama and Clemson. I didn't think Clemson had a dog in that fight because I thought he was going to go. I thought he was going to go to
Ole Miss.
Well, I mean, I value the idea of a legacy and going to Ole Miss or going to Tennessee, but I mean, not that I don't want him to come to Clemson, but in the end, it's like,
Yeah, but the thing is,
in the final two to me is like, I mean, Clemson has had, two generational type quarterbacks in Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence, and Ugunglele is going to be the next guy. But for Archie Manning to be like, yeah, I'm thinking about going to Clemson, I look at it and I'm like, man, that's going to piss off the people at the SEC network. They're not going to have their generational type quarterbacks from Ole Miss to Tennessee to,
Ole Miss.
They're not going to have all that.
2 Ole Miss and 1 Tennessee.
Right, but they're missing that SEC movie. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't talk about Clemson in that mix. Oof. What a shit show.
Yeah, man, wow. But again, I say that if old boy, and I can't think of his goddamn name, if old boy pans out like he's supposed to, the one that's coming out of St. Thomas More this year,
right?
Fuck Arch. You're gonna look it up.
I don't know about that. The other 2 Manning kids did pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna.
Peyton did great.
I'm not gonna jump on a fuck Arch Manning bandwagon.
No. But Eli.
Well.
If I'm an LSU fan or an Alabama fan, I'm wanting Arch Manning to come to my school. That way, I can laugh more at Ole Miss and I can laugh more at Tennessee. I can take Tennessee and be like, Peyton Manning's helping you guys make decisions there, Mister. I sell the world everything from insurance to light bulbs to everything else, and everybody thinks that I'm great. Even though when I was at Tennessee, I was teabagging trainers with my nutsack, and that story was swept under the rug. You guys have heard that story, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but Peyton Manning's the absolute best ever. The soccer moms love him. Everybody loves him. He just likes to put his nuts on people's faces. But this guy couldn't convince you to come to Tennessee, and he's related to you. Nah, he'd rather come to Alabama, where you better have your shit together or you're going to be the fucking 4th stringer. Congratulations, sir. That would make me happier than a pig in shit. If I'm an LSU fan, hey, come on down to LSU, but you'll never be as good as Joe Burrow. Think about that.
I don't touch Alabama.
Why would I like, if you're that highly touted of a quarterback with that legacy, why would you go to Alabama? I mean, it's not knocking Alabama. They're going to get the best quarterbacks anyway. But in the end, man, it's like, if I had my choice with him, and he can go wherever the hell he wants, but maybe he likes what Clemson does. Clemson puts up great offense, and I don't know. I don't know where he's going to go. I don't sit here and try to judge what, are going to do.
Arch is going to be a junior this year, right?
Yeah.
So
he's a big kid.
He's still got 2 more years he's got to play in high school.
Right.
Nick Saban turned 70 this year.
Yeah.
If you commit to Alabama, how long do you think you're playing for Nick Saban?
He looks like Skeletor too, man. He looks like he's lived a rough 70. Just saying. I'm a chunky bastard, I'll admit that, but he looks like he is a rough 70. What
happens when you coach the Dolphins for a year and a half?
And the fucking team wanted to fight you in the locker room. So there's that too. Anyway, well, I don't know where Arch Manning's going to go. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know how that's going to work out, but
his family is playing that very close to the vest.
If he ends up at Clemson, though, stand by, because I'm going to laugh a lot. And I'm going to be a happy motherfucker. It's September.
I'm sure you will be.
Just because, or September the 4th at about 10 o'clock. I have to work that night on the best Gamecock coverage here at WVOC in Columbia, but I have to do post game for them. But I'm doing a live stream with my buddy Carolina Jackpot as we laugh at Georgia fans. If you guys are not too hammered, you're welcome to come on and we'll laugh at them together. That's going to be me just obliterating them.
The beauty of it.
We're going to listen to fucking Blondie and all that shit. It's going to be great.
The beauty of it is me and Dave have no fucking skin in the game. So we can get on there. I mean, if Clemson blows that game, do you still want me and David on there?
If Clemson loses, I'll sit there and take my medicine. You guys know that.
You'll probably give medicine.
No, I show up whether we win or lose. I'm not one of these pussy motherfuckers that backs out. I don't do that. I'll show up.
Hey,
When we lost,
LSU went
I was one of the
5-5.
first
You
ones
can
in the
find
room.
me and College Sports Fanatics every week.
Yeah. Well, I was one of the first ones in the group. Hey, congratulations. You guys were great. By the way, Joe Burrow was a backup at Ohio State. Congratulations on winning with a backup from Ohio State.
Hey,
Man, people were so fucking mad at me. Oh, my God.
Ohio State didn't know what to do with him. We did.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Now, how does that make Ohio State look?
I know, but the point is that people were still drunk, and that's the first thing I said, and I didn't even comment. I just said that and logged off. Showed up, said, "Hey, you guys were the better team. Congratulations on winning with Ohio State's backup quarterback." Went to bed the next morning. I got up and I had like
1,600 comments
on my phone. What the fuck you? It's like these LSU fans are so simple.
well, you see, if you make comments like that, and that goes for today too, you can't stay on there forever. At some point in time, you have to go to bed, and the comments are going to keep coming and coming and coming.
Yeah, there's a couple people that get into my DMs and run their mouths at me, and they think that they're ruining my day. You're not ruining my day. Bless your sweet little hearts. I just laugh and smile.
Oh, you really riled old Penn's feathers there, Rob.
Yeah, like I pissed off David. Yeah, okay.
Dave,
I learned like within the first hour of interacting with David online that I couldn't say much. It's gonna piss him off. So move on. Find somebody else. Which is why when we were talking about doing this show, I wanted to do it with Jonathan because I know Jonathan gives zero fucks. I mean, this guy parades out with fucking 7 or 8 different teams and he doesn't give a shit. And then I wanted to get David too because David knew what he was talking about. But there's some of them that are some simpletons, man, that if you go and you look in the group, they're just constantly, well, Rob Sanders this and Rob Sanders that. Okay. let me laugh at you behind my my bottle of water here.
People don't understand that Rob Sanders is the shock jock of CSF.
I don't really think I'm a shock jock. I just put factual information.
I'll buy that for $1. I'll buy that for $1, Dave.
I think I pissed off Jonathan in the private chat today talking about Coach K quit because
no. We were being
you finish. Coach K quit because Zion got paid and it's gonna come back and he's like, I don't want to deal with that shit.
No, it goes to what David said. You're just trying to be a fucking shock jock. And
no, I truly think of the stuff that I put out there, I believe probably I would say 70% of it.
So 30% of what you just what you said earlier was part of the 30%, 100% of the 30% bullshit that comes out your fucking mouth.
The stuff about winning with a backup quarterback from Ohio State is bullshit.
No. I was talking about what you said today, motherfucker. Quit changing the subject, fuck stick.
No, you're talking about Duke today. I was talking about today.
I was okay. Well, you didn't let me finish, sir. I know that you're upset. I know that your man pussy's hurting right now. Calm down. The reality is a very simple. You get upset because you think that Coach Krzyzewski's the greatest basketball coach on earth, and I'm of the opinion that all college basketball teams cheat, and he doesn't want that tarnishing his image, and I think that's why he retired. That's why he retired.
What I'm telling you is, if it comes out that he had something to do with it, it's going to tarnish his image whether he retired or not. So what the fuck does that have to do with it?
And plus, if anything, LSU has proven that you don't have to fire your coach when he does wrong.
I know. I so badly wanted to tell Rob that. But I was trying to keep it about Coach K.
Well,
I hope Coach K made a strong-ass offer.
That's what I'm saying. I think
he's getting his attorneys from Baton Rouge.
No, I would have come back with, well, Jonathan, I mean, you just support a society of cheating coaches with all these teams that you have. I bet the Lafayette coach is a cheater too.
Well,
that would fit the MO.
Well, UL vacated 2 of those seasons that they won the New Orleans Bowl because of a fucktard coach they got from Mississippi State. All the shit he pulled was from Mississippi State, and they lit UL up for it. But that's how they roll.
All right.
It had nothing to do with the head coach of UL, though. UL's head coach had nothing to do with it.
I don't want to fight with you this evening. It's too late. I have the mentality of it's very simple with me. When you're the head coach, if something like that happens, that's why you're paid a lot of money. You're responsible. Simple as that. That's not if Coach K had a player that was getting paid $4,000 a month to go to Duke, then he took advantage of a player that got illegal benefits to play basketball for him.
Look, I'll tell you this. I feel like if
that fact kind of hurts, doesn't it, David? He didn't like that, does he?
Well, what's that?
He didn't like that. He didn't like that, does he?
I feel like if
be right back, beer time.
If certain players are going to teams in basketball, top tier players are going to LSU for basketball, there might be an issue. But I mean, does Duke really have to pay top tier players?
Apparently they are.
Serious question, Rob.
Look, I'm just being honest. According to court documents, Zion Williamson got $4,000 a month.
Yeah, I read the article.
Okay, then why are we arguing about this? He got paid to go to Duke.
But again, it's about Coach K.
Yes, because he's responsible for the program.
And I feel like
you can sit here and under that logic, then you can just claim ignorance across the board. That doesn't work. Responsible for the program.
Rick Pitino.
Didn't work out for him at all.
It's a legitimate thing where because you have to prove NCAA, whoever the fuck it is, has to prove that he knew something about it. They can't just go get rid of every coach that has every violation or sanction coaches that have violations. There is, however, reasons where it doesn't matter if the coach knew or didn't know about it. There are certain things that an organization, a school just can't do. And then they cut everybody loose, the deans and everybody. And paying a kid is not one of them.
Paying a kid is one of them.
I don't. Look,
no,
Jonathan, you're a smart guy, dude. Why can't you just admit he is the head of the basketball team?
He is the head of the basketball team.
Then he has a player that got paid to go to play there, so he's at fault. Don't you understand that?
No, I don't agree with you.
So Pitino's out at Louisville because he had assistant coaches that were supplying hookers and blow. I would call that less egregious than actually paying your star player.
They proved that he knew about it, though.
No, he proved that he did not know about it.
He proved that he did not know.
He was let go because he is the head of the program.
All right. Okay, fine. All right. Y'all corrected me. Fine. He was let go by the school.
Yes.
All right.
Christ. Do you know why they did that? Do you know why they let him go?
Sanctions.
To avoid sanctions, sir. They were put into a room and said, look, this guy was in charge of the program when they had whores and blow everywhere. Okay? He may not have known what was going on. Let's just say that he didn't know. But in reality, he probably fucking did. The reality is that he's responsible. It's the same way with Duke. But the thing is that you're taking it personally. It's not a personal thing. Okay? This is across the country. It happens everywhere.
This is how stupid college athletes are.
Right.
You go to Louisville and you get hookers and blow, and it gets your coach fired. And you know that there are several programs across the country that offer hookers and blow. But what do? You go to Tennessee for some fucking McDonald's bags. You're a fucking idiot.
By the way, someone today on my Fox Sports show, which, by the way, if you're watching this, tune into my Fox Sports show. If you need help finding it, let me know. Follow me on Twitter at Rob Sounds Good. I've got tomorrow on my show the head baseball writer from Baseball America, talking about the college baseball tournament. But my favorite comment today was, obviously there must be a McDonald's next to the hedges in Athens. I laughed like a 5-year-old at that today during my show. That made me happier than anything, man. I mean, it really did.
Hey, Rob.
What?
Forgive me. I'm just asking a question here because I don't pay attention to Clemson baseball. I mean, I lightly paid attention to Clemson baseball because I somewhat like you. Where they finished what, like 33 and 20 something?
Well, here's the thing with the Clemson baseball team.
They didn't have an RPI, did they?
They were not a very good baseball team. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, they started high up.
Not really. I mean, they had periods throughout the season. I mean, I think they finished like 3 games under 500. They had some good players on the team.
What, conference?
No, they finished 2 games under 500 overall.
Oh shit! I thought they would do better than that. Never mind.
No, they were a shithole. But yeah, Clemson baseball has got some serious problems. I mean, that's just the way that it is. So, but I didn't want to bring this up tonight, but Audrey's got a point. We can find no wrong with any of the many teams you support, brother. The thing with Duke, it's the same thing with Roy Williams. I think there's going to be some sanctions that come down to North Carolina too, and he just doesn't go there and get his. I know, but oh my God, can you slow down for a second, sir? I didn't put the North Carolina blood in the water so you could hit it like a piranha. All right, I know you Duke fans love to do that shit, but the reality is that this is across the board. You'll be a better sports fan if you'll just admit, hey, it's across the board. You should have been agreeing with me today. Why not? It happens everywhere. To think the Coach K above it is
not what the argument was about. I just don't think you have to put it on the coach every time.
But your star player being paid, that's going to go on the head coach.
It's got to go on the head coach. He's responsible for the whole program. That's why he makes $7 million a year.
Well, what about the ones that only make $250,000?
Hold on. Let's take this out of perspective for a second. Let's go to the LSU program. The stuff that happened. What's the running back? Geis, where he was sexually doing things or whatever. If Ed Orgeron had any inkling of any of that, he's going to get fired for it.
He should have been fired. He should have been fired.
The point is that he's the head coach and he's responsible for everything that is that brand. Okay.
Well, that goes back to institutional control, and then everybody should have gotten let go. That goes back to Baylor. That goes back to Penn State. That is a little bit different.
Well, I just you've got, especially come football season, when we have more people in this group and more people are going to watch this show, you need to check your fandom at the fucking door a little bit here. Seriously. Because there are going to be times when shit like that happens. You're just going to have to fucking eat it. You are going to have to eat it. You need to understand Coach K probably cheated because everybody does. That's just real, brother. I know he's over there like, God fucking damn it. God damn it. What about all of it? But it's true. Let it go, my friend. Let it go. Brad Brownell's going to get in a world of shit too, because you want to know why Zion didn't go to Clemson? Because Brownell didn't offer him enough. That's why. His stepdad played at Clemson. Okay? So they know the Clemson program. He went to Spartanburg Day, which is 60 miles from the Clemson campus. You can make it there in an hour. His stepdad went there. He didn't go because he didn't give him enough money. Coach K got enough, though, through someone, and that's why Zion went to Duke. Let's just be honest with each other. We can be the honest show here.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Since we're talking about Duke and Coach K.
David's looking at me like, who's honest? Fuck honesty.
I'll tell you this much since we're talking about Duke and Coach K. It's time.
Oh, he's 70-something years old.
No,
I mean,
it's time. That's I mean,
did I
there's
tell
your
you
honesty right there.
Did I tell you my Roy Williams story on this show? Did I tell you about the time that have I told you guys my Roy Williams story?
You met him at the airport?
No, I met him at the valet at the hotel that we were at.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talked
for like a minute or two.
Yeah, and we talked about his grandkids and family more than we talked about.
You sure did. Yep.
So when you met him, he was just one of those kind of guys. And Coach K has had his moments too. When I covered him in Columbia, he said something that was really cool at the end of his press conference when they just got that win over UCF, and they survived UCF. UCF kind of actually outplayed
with Taco Fall,
with Taco Fall and all those guys. Yeah, I covered it because that was here in Columbia. And he said something at the end of the press conference that nobody carried because in reality, the national folks didn't care. But he said, I want to thank the folks from Columbia for making this just an absolute great host city. It was top of the line, first class. He didn't have to say all that shit. He did what he was supposed to do, but he sat back down a second and talked up my town here. And it just showed kind of the classy guy that he is. I still think he cheats, but
I think I brought that up when you talked about that, but it was the beat writer for Mississippi State. Yeah. It was for a regional, super regional that was hosted in Lafayette. Rage Cajuns hosted Mississippi State, and he got to come down and be the beat writer for Mississippi State. Basically, your job. Well, not your job really, because you do all of South Carolina.
I'll cover all stuff.
But the point is, he went back home after that. UL beat him. He went back home and talked so much shit about how much of a podunk piece of crap city Lafayette was in his write-up, and he got fired from all his gigs. The newspaper, the radio, the TV, he got fired. Like, why would you go do that?
When I lived in
when
I lived in Alabama after Hurricane Katrina, I was listening to Feinbaum, and he was talking about Baton Rouge and what a shithole it is. And he goes, this place is a fucking dumpster. I fucking hate that place. And I was like, wow, Paul.
Look, I've been to several different, like, I've covered games in every SEC stadium with the exception of about 4 of them. And I've covered ACC games at every stadium except for I don't consider Notre Dame an ACC member, except for Syracuse. And each city has their own thing. Some places take it better than others, but you know, for you to be a guest of a university, which is what you are if you're a member of the media, you're a guest there. It's kind of the way that it is. For you to be a guest and for you to run your mouth like that is just disrespectful. Maybe my parents raised me a little bit different, but if you're a guest and generally, you know, you're treated well, just fucking just be nice. Even if you don't like it there, you know, like when I went to Boston College, it was cold and it was just the fans weren't really into the game. But you know what? The guy that helped me figure out where to go in the press box and made sure all my stuff was good there was one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Well, and that was the thing.
His name is Andre Black, but he's a great guy. The point is that you shouldn't shit on a university.
His article wasn't
some shit. It's just stupid.
His article wasn't necessarily about the stadium or about how he was treated there. Well, there was. He made some jokes about our accents and stuff in his article, but it was more about the city itself. And
why would you go like? I mean, and I'm going to sound like I'm a member of the woke clan here, and I'm not trying to sound like that, but how are you going to go somewhere and bash the way that people sound? You're not fucking from there. That's just stupid. Your voice, you guys have some folks down in Louisiana. The Cajun accent comes from France because you were part of the, you know, like a French territory at one point. And that's just the way shit is. You can't fucking help that. It's stupid. I got ignorant. That is some ignorant shit there. That bugs the hell out of me, man. Absolutely bugs the hell out of me.
It was an interesting little thing. In fact, he came on our local radio show the day after and got interviewed, and he was called the hell out. But he was staying in some shit podunk part of town, which I know the part of town.
Like the thing is that you're generally, when you go to a town,
that's exactly.
David, you probably know this because you were in journalism school. I don't know if you did anything where you covered a team or not, but in 7 weeks, I'm going to ACC kickoff for to cover. It's like the SEC's version of media days. Okay,
right
now they have where you can get a hotel room that is in the hotel. It's called the Westin, where you can be in the hotel where the conference is. Okay, so your room is like $300 or whatever, and I generally get my sponsors to cover a piece of it, or cover the whole thing, because you want to stay close to it. Now, I could spend that $300 and spend one night there, but I know that I'm going to be right there on top of everything, and Lord only knows who I'm going to run into in the lobby. I could have a conversation with this football player or that broadcaster or whoever in the lobby, and that's important too. But there are people that, they will stay in like a podunk part of Charlotte where they're paying $50 a night for their hotel room, and someone may get shot outside. But I say this is because if you have to spend the money to stay close to where things are instead of trying to be cheap as hell and save money with that kind of thing, because it ends up biting you in the ass. You don't get the experience that you want.
Trying to pocket that per diem, bro.
Exactly. You know exactly what
I'm talking about. That was the point of the question that our local guy asked him, and he was like, well, yeah, that's where I stayed. Well, then don't come running your mouth about, like, you don't know the other parts of our city. Don't come running your mouth about where you just stayed. Get you people to pay you more money then, or more per diem, like David said. Like, what the fuck, dude? Anyways.
I don't know. I get frustrated when guys like that run their mouths. And, I goof about, even when I go to tailgates or whatever, I've been to tailgates all over the country. And I've had a couple where people were kind of like, a little bit. All right. But generally, man, most people just want to fucking drink and watch their team.
Yeah.
Just fucking nice. Just fucking
even if their team sucks. They're just out there to have a good fucking time.
Go outside Memorial Stadium in Nebraska.
I haven't been there. I've been to Duke though, where there's like they're waiting for a basketball game to break out because they don't give a shit about the football team. But when I went there and when we lost there in a game, they had 19,000 fans there. 15,000 of them were Clemson fans. We were laughed out of fucking Wallace Wade Stadium by 4,000 Duke fans. We outnumbered them 4-1, and they laughed us out of their fucking shithole high school stadium. You know how embarrassing that is as a fan? That is fucking shitty. Fuck
y'all want to talk?
Ever. Fuck him.
Y'all want to talk? Y'all want to talk? Honestly,
dad. Fucker.
Honestly,
you can go to hell.
On my bucket list is to watch a Duke, North Carolina game. We're talking about basketball here at Cameron Indoor. I would love to watch that fucking game before I go.
I've been to a game there. I told you about me going to a game there, right? Did we talk about that?
Was it Duke, North Carolina, or just a Duke game? I mean, either way, it would still be cool. It wasn't Duke, North Carolina.
No, I went for the first game of the season. I can't remember what year it was, but they were playing. This is actually a cool story. Well, story time with Uncle Rob.
Yeah.
So I was going to my buddy Danny, who is he's like you. He likes Clemson football, but Duke basketball because he likes front runners. So he's like, I'm gonna get us a Duke basketball ticket, and I'm like, for what? Because I'm like, I don't want to fuck. He goes, I'm gonna get us a ticket. We're gonna fucking go. Shut up. Well, Danny was the best man at my wedding, and when Danny tells me we're going somewhere, I fucking go. So we get up there to Cameron, and they're playing Detroit.
Oh, wow.
How many people know Detroit, you know? So we get in and the Cameron Crazies are losing their mind. You know, it's an early, it's a early December game, like 3 games before conference play opens up or whatever the hell it was. They're playing Detroit. It's one of those games, whatever. And Detroit started the game on a 19-0 run. They were beating Duke 19-0 in Cameron Indoor Stadium. And here's what I remember from that. The Duke Cameron Crazies were still yelling, "Go to hell, Carolina, go to hell. Go to hell, Carolina, go to hell." I'm standing here and I'm looking around. I'm like, you're playing fucking Detroit. What is waxing that ass? You know? So Coach K, he didn't come off the sideline. He called a timeout, said something to them. You could see he was pretty animated in that fucking huddle. Duke came out and went on a 31-2 run, and they ended up leading at the half 31-21, and they won by 36 points. Okay? So that just tells you what I remember about that. But the Cameron Crazies, literally, every chance they got, it's go to hell, Carolina, go to hell. Go to hell, Carolina, go to hell. They could give 2 shits about anybody else that's out there on the floor, but it's fuck North Carolina forever. I admire their spirit. I do, because Detroit was whipping that ass.
So speaking of, since this is College Sports Fanatics, and I know we all hate Duke, but I posted this earlier. You know, they're talking about, from what I read, Shire, which I know he's the associate head coach behind Coach K. Of all the alumni that are coaching right now for Duke that are pretty successful, I'm pretty damn surprised if Shire is actually the guy that's going to take it.
They should have given a look to Johnny Dawkins down at UCF.
Years ago, though, now Dawkins is getting up there in age, so I don't know if.
What's wrong with hiring another guy that's going to be a stopgap until you find a great young coach? Why not keep the Krzyzewski train rolling?
Well, yeah, but I mean, Shire played for Duke. There's all these guys. They got so many people that played for Coach K that are coaching now are still on the staff. I mean,
okay, Johnny Dawkins is 57 years old.
No, I was thinking because he played in the early 80s. He played in the early 80s.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not trying to bitch at you here, but that's not very old. 57.
No, I know you're right. I mean, he could coach another 15, 20 years.
Right.
Do you want to go? Shire is probably what, 35, 40?
I mean, I hope Shire falls on his fucking dick. Fuck him.
I mean, you got Wojo out there that's coaching.
Shire was on that team that came into Clemson, and we whipped that Duke ass by 40. I remember that.
Yeah? Oh, yeah?
I do. It's one of the few times we actually won. We were a one-hit LSU wonder. That's exactly what we were. We beat that Duke ass one time.
About every 4 years, Clemson has a pretty decent basketball team.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like LSU.
All right, well.
Best team money could buy.
I know this is College Sports Fanatics. Since I got you both here, can we talk about the NBA for a second? Because I'm a happy individual.
Nope, not if we're going to talk about
because he's
LeBron.
a Phoenix Suns.
We're not going to talk about LeBron.
I'm not talking about LeBron. I'm talking about the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, fuck.
1 game away.
Hey.
My Phoenix Suns, ladies and gentlemen, are going to do something. They are right now. If you are listening to this program, you need to stop and you need to sit by the side of the road and think for just a second, or sit in your desk in your cubicle there, or your boss is like, what the hell is this guy listening to? And you need to tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to sit and I'm going to think a happy thought for the Phoenix Suns, because today, here on June 3rd, they are America's team. They are the team that can fight evil and fight these people that have decided, you know what, in the NBA, we have to build a super team. No, sir. Your team that was built from within and actually built and not bought and not put together by a bunch of free agent bitches. No, sir. We don't have that in Phoenix.
You have Chris Paul.
The majority of the team there is built from within. Don't give me Chris Paul, sir. Chris Paul's played for like 6 different teams.
I know.
Okay. But the reality is that the core of that team is built from within. They all were drafted by Phoenix. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, all these guys.
I remember that pick. That was a damn good pick.
Well, in theory, it was a good pick, but if you look at some of the other guys, it's like, holy shit. Some of the other guys, I think Luka Doncic was picked like after him, and I mean, you look at that draft, it's like, fuck me, but DeAndre Ayton's playing some pretty good basketball right now. But when you sit back today, you think for a minute because they are taking down evil, and that is what the Los Angeles Lakers are. Remember the old CCCP? That's what the Lakers are. If you support them, you are an absolute fan of the devil. That is what you are.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
But if the Suns beat the Lakers in game 6 or 7, they will be the first team to end a LeBron playoff run before the finals.
Before the first round, he's lost it. He's lost to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Remember that when he quit quit with the Cavs in his final year there when Rajon Rondo got in his gizzards and beat his ass. Yeah, and when he actually quit, he quit on them too. But no, it'll be his first round loss in playoff history. Will be to America's team, ladies and gentlemen, the Phoenix Suns. We are America's team.
No, dude, I'm a big Barkley and Dan Marley fan. Oh yeah.
Okay. I have a Dan Marley jersey hanging in my office.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Andre says the Sun are the team America needs, not the one we deserve. Andre off the top rope. Everybody should be rooting for the Phoenix Suns today.
I think everybody are.
You want to talk about bandwagon? You want to talk about bandwagon? Because I know that's your favorite term. I grew up a Lakers fan. Grew up a big Lakers fan. Now here's the problem.
How the fuck are we friends? How the fuck are we friends with all these cock-sucking teams you support?
Here's the big problem. What? Yeah, but dude, I'm a little bit older than you, Rob. I'm a little bit older than you. Back in the early 80s, the Lakers were the shit. Now the problem is, as soon as LeBron went over there, peace out. Bye, Lakers.
You said you were going to talk about them. I didn't bring him up at all. I just said that we have the opportunity to take down one of these so-called super teams. And you know what?
I think this
team can compete with Brooklyn. You know, they got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and James Harden and all those guys and Blake Griffin and all that. I think this Suns team can compete with them. I really do.
Talking about other stupid Duke players, fuck Kyrie Irving.
Well, he went to Duke. We knew he was damaged.
Yeah, with all his 6 games he fucking played. Fuck that little douche bitch.
You know, hey, everybody remembers the final game in Kyrie Irving's career at Duke, right? Everybody remembers what that was? When they lost to what was the name of that school in the middle of Georgia?
Was it Belmont? Or no,
it was little itty bitty.
They were a 15 seed.
They were a 15 seed. Hold on, let's look at notable Duke losses. Kyrie Irving was on a team that lost to. Oh, here we go. Duke's ugliest losses ever. This is from 2017. Let's see here. Nope. Number 4 LSU beat them in 2006 when they beat them by 8.
I remember that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was one of your other teams. You were really struggling on that day. Fuck! I'm gonna wear my LSU pants and my Duke jersey.
Now,
that way, I got it right.
Do you want to know who I was pulling for?
No, fuck off.
I was pulling for Duke.
Here we go.
And then LSU got their asses handed to them the next fucking game by UCLA. They scored like 40 fucking points in the goddamn Final Four.
I didn't care.
They lost to Lehigh. That was a big one, but it was Mercer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one where Kyrie Irving was, I'm hurt, but I'm not hurt. And then I'm hurt, but my vagina hurts. And now we're going to go out.
He's such a fucking pussy, bro.
He's a pussy, dude. And by the way, Kevin Durant's a pussy, too, since we're talking about this.
Kyrie Irving believes the earth is flat.
I was about to say he's a flat earther. Fuck him.
Kevin Durant's the same way, man. Kevin Durant is like, I don't think he's a flat earther, but he's one of those guys that he picks fights with fans on Twitter. If I'm Kevin Durant and I'm making 30 million, what's that? Yeah, he did. He created it, but he's making 30 million a year to play basketball. Considered one of the best basketball players on the planet. Has rings. I mean, has pussy flying at him from every fucking angle. And I'm gonna let a chunky guy from fucking New Jersey get into my mentions. And I'm gonna fuck him. I'm gonna create another account and I'm gonna go and run my mouth to him. How fucking insecure are you?
You know, you talk about
human being he is.
You talk about Phoenix bringing up, building a team. If Phoenix would have actually, not Phoenix, if Golden State would have actually, I don't know, gotten or done something to get 3 other players besides go get Durant, they'd actually still be doing something right now.
Well, no, Golden State's going to be good next year.
They will be, but they lost time because of the time they fucking wasted. Yes, of course, they won a couple titles with Durant, but they had to get rid of like half their motherfucking team to fucking do it. Fuck Durant.
I don't like Durant either.
And then
who do you talk about, David? David, do you have an NBA team or you're just a Pelicans fan?
I'm just a Pelicans fan.
Okay, well,
am I allowed to be a Pelicans fan?
You might as well be. They're right down the street. You might as well be a Pelicans. Lakers.
Half their fucking team is from Duke.
I tell you what, and I mean this with all sincerity.
Even their GMs from fucking Duke.
You start pulling for the Phoenix Suns, I swear to you, I'm gonna whip your gnome ass. I will not have you fucking following my team that I've been following forever. I'll just pick them because
I think I'm gonna order a jersey just for next week. What the fuck? What's the Amazon password?
Your wife took that shit from you. She got tired of you ordering dick hard pills. Ass cream and dick hard pills. No more Amazon for you. Is it weird that I don't have our Amazon account? Like if I want something, I just tell Karen and she orders it. I don't have like. I think she'd give it to me, but I don't know. I just never.
I'm the same way, Rob. I don't have my Amazon. I mean, because I don't have an Amazon account. My wife does.
I have an Amazon account for my girlfriend.
Oh, so you monitor that to make sure she doesn't spend a lot of money? We're not trying to get in your relationship.
I don't monitor shit. I get emails like 4
you
times
just get emails, and it's sort of like the scene from Goodfellas. It's like, fuck you, pay me. Fuck you, pay me. Fuck you, pay me.
Well, she put her own card on it.
But still, well, I mean, you can. We all
I get like 3 or 4 emails a week about packages arriving on this date, at this time, and like I go home and I pull that 7 thing on her, like, no, I'm sorry, is it 7? What's the Brad Pitt movie? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Yeah, you don't want to see what's in the box.
7 weeks from today, we will be doing a CSF late night show from ACC kickoff in Charlotte.
Big ass. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, what?
So we're gonna do it from.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that you guys will be
hotel room.
I mean, I will be at a hotel room in Charlotte.
Well, dude, you said you're getting $300 from your sponsors. Fly us up there.
You want to get on a flight where it costs $300 to get you both up there? What am I flying you on? A fucking Pelican? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I like the Pelicans.
Hey, I got
that's one of my teams.
Email today, $49 fares for Southwest.
Well, when I fly to Charlotte, what are we all going to fucking sleep in the same fucking room together? When we get a California king bed, we'll all just sleep together. That'd be great. Have a camera with all of us like this, and it's like, hey, and then everybody's like huddled around my microphone, and it's like, I'll say something, and then Jonathan pushes me and is like, hey, and then David pushes him and is like, hello. Andre says we could spoon. Fuck off, Andre.
Oh, Andre's coming?
Yeah, we should charge Andre to fucking he transports hot commodities.
If Andre had a damn sleeper cab, we could go with him.
If we're gonna have a CF late night bedtime sandwich, I'm not the creamy center.
Fuck all that.
You're still the sloppy bottom.
No, that goes to the shortest one of the group. I'm just saying.
What we talking about? Like vertical height?
Yeah. As far as distance from the floor, fuck stick. That's exactly what we're talking about. Holy shit. But no, we're going to do a show from there. Next week, hopefully I'll have the phones fixed. If you would like to contribute to the show, let me know because I got to pay StreamYard fees. So, and I've got to continue to pay my professional broadcasting staff. If you guys can help out with that, let me know. That will be awesome. And if you want to, later on, we're going to pass the hat for the Charlotte trip because I have to get things for that, and it's just fucking insane. So
we have 7. I have 7 weeks to learn all the teams in the ACC.
Well, we're gonna. The cool part is that day will be that Wednesday.
How many ACC teams can I name? Let's see. There's Syracuse, Boston College, Maryland, Wake Forest.
Maryland's in the Big Ten.
Are they?
Yeah. Like
you're out.
I'm out.
Hold on. This is actually a fun game. We'll do this before we leave. It'll be our final bit of the day here.
Right.
How
Start
far
from the
can you,
south.
hold on. No. We'll start in the Atlantic, and we'll let David go first. How many ACC Atlantic teams?
Conference. How many teams are in the ACC?
14.
I don't even know.
14.
14? Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's in football. There's 16 in basketball, right?
Yeah, because you've got Notre Dame, so 15.
Fuck. All right, so Florida State, Miami.
Oh, you're not going by the Atlantic, are you? Okay.
No, I'm going by states that I can think of where there might be teams.
Yeah, I don't know which.
I don't know shit about fuck.
I don't know which
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
That's 3. Clemson, obviously.
I know the
UNC.
basketball.
Is NC State ACC?
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm at 6.
The fact that you guys don't know shit, I don't even know if I want to do a fucking joke there now.
No idea.
Wait.
Syracuse.
I know them all because I'm an ACC basketball fan.
Fuck off! You're looking at another screen there. You can't fucking do all that.
Oh,
no,
I'll close my eyes and name
I'm
it.
at 7.
Okay.
That's all I know.
All right. Well, but here's the thing though.
You forgot the Demon Deacons.
We'll be right in the heart of SEC stuff too, and I can cover. We're going to be covering both, so we should have. And I'm going to save it for CSF late nights. We are going to fill out my ACC media. What is it called? Poll. We're going to do that on CSF late nights, and the way we're going to do it is very simple. We're going to let's say that. We pick Clemson. I'm going to say, all right, I like Clemson at number 1. And the Gnome and Dave can say, all right, I'm buying it or I'm not. It has to be a majority rule for that team to be ranked where they are. So if I put Clemson at number 1, which don't be fuckos, this is real. All right. And they'll look at my ballot and be like, this motherfucker put goddamn Wake Forest at number 1. This is real. So we have to be serious about this.
So I can't pick Duke.
No, you cannot pick Duke. I'm just saying it's a real thing, and I'm going to make you guys a part of it here on
They'll have
CS
both Virginias, right? West Virginia and Virginia?
Virginia Tech.
No, you simpleton. God damn it. Now I got to play this. Damn it.
I don't know shit about
the Big 12.
Virginia and Virginia Tech. West Virginia's in the Big 12. God damn it. You can name every SEC team, all those shitholes, but you can't name the ACC
I mean,
team?
I've been
I'm
an
telling you,
LSU
I can
fan
name
my
every
entire
ACC
life.
team. I bet you.
What's that?
I could name every ACC team.
That's because you're a fan. That's because you're a fair weather fan. You support a team in every fucking conference.
Yeah, he knows he could tell us all the teams from the Sun Belt too.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, you could.
I know the Raging Cajuns and Coastal Carolina. That's all I know.
I could probably list off the ACC quicker than I can the Sun Belt, but no, I probably could name all the Sun Belt.
God,
there's only 9 of those.
You're a fucking dork.
Yeah.
that's all I can say to you. You're a dork. No, but I'm really looking forward to that show because that's going to be absolutely fun. So And we'll.
I may not be able to name them all off the top of my head, but if you give me a name, I could tell you, oh, that's okay. That team isn't as good as this team.
Well, look, you guys are professional broadcasters now, right? Right. So you're gonna have to do a little research. Oh my fucking God! You're gonna have to pick up a book and look at something. No, we also have to pick the All ACC team. So
that'll be great.
Yeah, that's gonna be fucking. You guys are gonna be like all you guys running your mouth about. Oh, yeah, you're gonna be leaning
I'm just
on
gonna name
the
Clemson offense and the Clemson defense.
So each position.
Yeah.
Quarterback, DJ Ukulele.
22 players.
Yeah.
Is there special teams too?
Yes.
Yeah.
The punter, a kicker,
you need to know about the fucking punter.
All right. Yeah, I'll be ready.
I'm game.
All right, so who's gonna fuck up the worst? Is it gonna be the Gnome or Super Dave? That's
gonna be me.
Shit.
It ain't gonna be me.
I think it's
by the way, for that show, I will be drinking heavily. Just making sure you understand that because I'm gonna be tired as fuck. I'm gonna be jacked up on Red Bull, and I'm gonna be trying to come down with vodka and whatever the hell else I can get on my fucking self. So, but yeah, that's gonna be a good show that I'm looking forward to. Our kickoff special. So, yeah, there's that. All right, so go Suns, America's team. Fuck the Lakers. Fuck everybody but us.
Team All ACC quarterback Ian Book.
He graduated, sir.
I know he's on the Saints roster.
Oh, I was about to say, God damn it, you're not fucking helping me at all. You know that?
You know
me at all.
If it wasn't for the fact that Rob was a Braves fan, like I might not even do this show.
Well, fucking, you don't want to do it, Dave, and I can do it. I mean, I want to do the show, but
no. You're still a Braves fan, right? Are you saying you're not a Braves fan?
Fuck yeah, I'm a Braves fan. I'll be a Braves fan until I fall off this planet. Except, I think we've talked about this. If the Braves change their name to the fucking Stripers or some other fucking fish because people don't like them because of the Braves name, I will no longer be a Braves fan. I will be a Kansas City Royals fan. Simple as that. I picked the worst team in baseball, and that's who I will root for. I will not be a fucking Braves fan if they change the name of their team to the Atlanta Stripers.
Why do you want to root if you're not a Braves fan? Why do you want to root for the Chicago White Sox's bitch?
Because I picked the worst team in baseball. That way nobody could say that I was bandwagon. That's exactly why I did it. I picked the worst team in baseball. And
so you do know what bandwagon means. There it is. There it is.
When I look it up in my dictionary, it has a picture of you with a psoriasis up ass on it.
So you like the Lakers, you like Duke, you like the Yankees,
the Lakers, you like Duke, you like LSU. You have all fucking front runners, and then you pick fucking Louisiana from the Sun Belt because they do well in the Sun Belt. You are a front running asshole. Think about it. Think about it. None of your teams really suck. Think about it.
Y'all didn't know me.
Things. None of you
know me in the 80s.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I have the Tigers. I have the White Sox. I have the Pelicans.
Hey.
I have the Blackhawks.
How were the Braves doing in 1987 with Doyle Alexander?
This has nothing to do with that.
You just said I like the front runners. How were the Braves doing in 1987 whenever I was a Braves fan?
Franchises in the National League right now. They've been a great franchise for a while. In the past 20 years, they're one of the winningest franchises in the damn fucking league.
So that means I'm a bandwagon because I started liking them in 1987?
With all of your other teams, you most certainly are.
When
Duke, dude.
When they went from worst to first. The Braves went from worst to first.
Stop it. You were a front runner. Stop it. Stop it. God damn it. You're fucking terrible. You're making blow his dick harder.
So let's clarify something real quick. You said that when LBJ joined the Lakers, you were no longer a Lakers fan. So what NBA team are you rooting for?
Well,
don't fucking say the Suns.
No.
I'll kill you.
The Pelicans. But I mean, I like the Pelicans because they're hometown, but also it helps that half their team and their management is all fucking Duke.
That's only a recent development. They used to be mostly Kentucky.
I get it. And speaking of, I really wish they still had fucking Drew Holiday. But anyways,
yeah, he's playing for Milwaukee.
I understood the move. You're trying to create draft capital so that you can build around your star.
Andre says, "Fuck the Pelicans." Oh, and you're a Saints fan. Yeah, very, very good, very good, Andre. You're also a Saints fan. One of the better teams in the NFC.
Right, I know, because whenever I was born in 1979, they were fucking awesome, and I've just been a fan ever since. Fuck you, Andre.
God damn it. We're cussing out our listeners from afar. Fuck you in the chat room.
No, that's not. He's the fucking producer. Fuck him.
So we're just saying fuck you to our producer? Ooh,
that's right.
Okay. Anyway.
I mean, you're trying to get us kicked off our fucking channel.
I don't know what the fuck happened with that. So that was my own video. I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
Speaking of, one of their big rules, because I read all the rules tonight, it's about thumbnails. You remember thumbnails?
Yes.
Rob, thumbnails? Yeah.
Thumbnails. Sure.
They really pay attention to thumbnails. No,
wrong thumbnails.
YouTube really pays attention to their thumbnails.
I can't lift my arms because my fucking coach is kicking the shit out of me.
Like they don't like thumbnails about Alabama hot pockets and shit like that. That's like in their rule books and shit.
I don't know.
I'm surprised we didn't get.
Well, that's probably what got us was the Alabama Hot Pockets. Well, I know that episode got pulled off of YouTube. The Alabama Hot Pocket thing was.
I'm surprised that wasn't our first warning and this was our first strike.
All of this is my fault, by the way. I'm the one that fucking brings up the dumb shit. If you guys had it your way, we wouldn't talk about Alabama Hot Pockets and everything else. But see, the problem is.
Talk about Alabama Hot Pockets on your show.
No, you did.
You did that as like a backhanded thing to try to fuck with me because I was brought it up here, you know. But the thing is that I do the 5 hours of sports talk every week, in addition to cutting sports updates for my state, in addition to the 3 hours I do for the Rob and Kale show. So I've got 12, 13, 14 hours a week. And then it's like I do this show too. And I like doing this show, but I want to talk about goofy shit. I want to talk about Alabama Hot Pockets. And I know it bothers you guys because you want us to be serious. And a lot of the time we can be, but I want to talk about goofy shit. I really do. That's why I tell Jonathan sometimes, man, you can fucking lead the show. I don't need to lead this motherfucker. I got my own show to lead. I'll fucking follow. I don't give a fuck.
Before we sign off, the baseball tournament kicks off on Friday.
Yes.
Any big upsets in any of the regions?
Do you know? I'll give you this. Do you know who leads the country in home runs? As far as home runs for the for team,
I don't.
Take a wild guess.
Gonzaga.
Nope. Old Dominion. They are the number 1 seed in the Columbia Regional here, where South Carolina is the 2 seed, even though they're hosting. I think they're going to come in here and they might whip that Gamecock ass. People are laughing at me about that, but I honestly think they have. They're going to play Jacksonville in their first game, so they're not going to run their ace out there to start. Jacksonville was 16-32 on the season. They won their conference title in the conference championship or whatever. They're the worst record in the tournament, 16-32. They're going to run like their 4th or 5th starter out there, I would think, against Jacksonville, and they're going to be waiting there for their ace for the Gamecocks or Virginia. I think that Old Dominion is going to, as I know they're a 1 seed, but a lot of people are just writing the SEC team in there. I think South Carolina falls this weekend.
So that's South Carolina Stadium looking all good like that with Old Dominion's.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, the thing about South Carolina is they were able to pump a bunch of money into their baseball program back when they won those back-to-back titles.
Well, they're also an SEC school.
well, no, I mean, the stadium is really nice. I mean,
No. I'm talking about the field. I've been seeing pictures of the field, and it's all cut, pretty looking, like it's Old Dominion's field.
no, I mean,
But that's actually South Carolina, is what you're saying.
yeah, no, they're playing at South Carolina Stadium.
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah, but I don't know what picture you're looking at, but I think that's a team that could realistically do something. I like, even though it's not an upset, I like TCU a lot because they're kind of a throwback team in that they can hit the ball, they can play gorilla ball, but they also lead the country in stolen bases. They are very active on the base pass, and a lot of college pitchers don't really see a team that's as active as TCU is. I think it's 1 through 7 or 8 will try to steal. I mean, they have that dynamic of a lineup, one of the better hitting lineups in the country. And I think they're going to be really, really solid. If you guys get a chance tomorrow, my Fox Sports show, I've got Will Healy from Baseball America on. We're going to be breaking that down, and he knows a lot more than fucking I do, and he can tell us about. I was going to ask him about some upsets, and I was looking for you today, David, because I know you peek in sometimes. There was some Georgia fan today that was running his mouth saying about LSU getting a bid because your coach is retiring and Georgia should have gotten that bid. And I'm like,
why?
I don't
Because you beat us in the tournament.
But that's the point. I don't really follow it enough where I could make an educated response, so I didn't really respond to him. You know what I'm saying?
Georgia didn't do shit this season. They beat us in the opening round, the single elimination round of the SEC tournament. They scored 4 runs in the first inning. LSU scored 1 run in the first inning, and then nobody scored again the rest of the game. And your resume didn't give you enough to even be considered. And if you want to bitch about LSU making the field of 64, they weren't a last 5 in team. If you watch the selection show, last 5 in, first team on the list, Alabama. Not LSU, Alabama.
I was like, man, I've got all these LSU folks that follow and come in and talk about the show. And it's like, none of y'all are here to fucking talk about this shit. You're going to fucking let this Georgia fan run his mouth. And I'm like,
I
was mad at myself because I didn't research enough where it was like, I could make an educated thing. I don't want to open my mouth and say something stupid.
Right.
Because to me, it's just like, I would have said something along the lines of, well, your baseball team got penalized because your football coach wears a women's golf visor. They didn't want the possibility of that happening in the damn NCAA tournament. I'd say something stupid like that. So I just refrained. But yeah, I was like,
Georgia was never in the conversation for a bid. Winning one game in the SEC tournament wasn't going to do them any good. They needed to win it, and they didn't.
Georgia's RPI was 41 versus LSU in the mid-20s.
Wow. Anyway, see, that's why I need you guys.
We did what we needed to do. They said we needed to get 13 wins. We got 13 wins.
David, and be like, get in the fucking chat room so you can fucking talk to some of these guys.
You have
like
my phone number.
I know, but goddamn it, I'm in the middle of doing a live show for thousands of motherfuckers. God damn it! It's still, I may start texting you, or I might text Andre. Andre, get in the fucking chat room and deal with this goddamn Georgia clown.
Andre's got to sleep.
Fucker. Andre doesn't need to sleep.
So
Andre
I'm like a complete
he
homer,
looks better than all of them.
I think LSU can upset Oregon in the Eugene regional.
LSU has to win the Saturday night game. LSU cannot go into Sunday.
That's not being very insightful. Everybody needs to win their first game, or you're going to be in a world of shit.
No. They need to win. They need to win the Saturday night game against Oregon. They cannot go into Sunday having to beat
Oregon wins its first game.
Well, no, then that's fair. but they cannot go into Sunday needing to win 2 games. Is what I'm saying. LSU's pitching staff can't do that.
I'll buy that.
Well, I could talk to you about Clemson being in the NCAA tournament, but they're not because we're fuckos. Presbyterians in the tournament. They're going to play Vanderbilt.
What? Speaking of, is it Presbyterian?
Presbyterians from Clinton, South Carolina, which is about 30 minutes from here. Now, if I were like you and all of you fucking fake plastic fucking LSU fans that have to root for Lafayette and the fucking Louisiana School of the Blind and every fucking thing else, I could root for Presbyterian, but I don't do that because I got one team and they're sitting there. So I'm tweeting at Monty Lee every day. You better be fucking recruiting. I did that the other day. I was tweeting at Monty Lee. Hey, coach, get your ass out and recruit. We need to fix the pitching staff. Thanks.
Hey, Rob, what city is Presbyterian in?
Clinton, South Carolina.
So do you live in Clinton?
No, I said I live 30 minutes from Clinton.
Okay, because I live in Lafayette. 45 minutes from Baton Rouge.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, then maybe you shouldn't, under that logic, you shouldn't root for LSU.
Well, maybe I should.
It's in your hometown. How's that sound? How's that working out?
Because LSU
I grew up in New Orleans. UNO doesn't have a football team.
Maybe you should root for Tulane, sir.
Oh, and speaking of, you brought that shit up
the
other day
other
about
baseball program in the state that if they made the field of 64, I would root for.
Who?
Tulane. It's the only other school in the state I'd root for if they did anything. And that's only because it's stupid hard to get into that school. It's got ridiculously high academic standards. So for them to turn out any kind of major athletic program in any given year, I think that says something about what they sometimes accomplish.
All right. Well, we have all that. So are you guys picking LSU to get the upset? Are either one of you picking them or not?
I am.
Okay.
No. I think they make the super regional, and I think if they make the super regional, they go to Knoxville.
What? Don't you have one of your other teams from Louisiana that's in the mix there, Jonathan? I'm sure you got a jersey for them, but who else from Louisiana is
Well, I hate Louisiana Tech with a passion, so fuck them.
You got a Louisiana Tech jersey. I'm sure you do.
No, I hate Louisiana Tech with a passion. That's what I was about to say because you were saying the other day, if they in Louisiana, you love them. I hate Louisiana Tech. Now, I would love. I'll tell you what. McNeese State is in it. I don't think they're gonna do shit.
Austin Regional.
Yes, they end up. I think so. No, is it? Are they in Louisiana Tech Regional?
Yeah,
I think they made the Austin region.
I would love for McNeese. They're from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Rob, I'm sure you've heard about Lake Charles a lot this year or last year.
I don't know shit about your state. Fuck
well,
off.
they were devastated by 2 major hurricanes.
Well, God bless those people, and I hope that they do well. But as far as the teams from your state, fuck them because I support one team. That's the Clemson Tigers.
And South Carolina and 10
years. I don't want South Carolina. South Carolina. I've never supported. By the way, that is a cheap thing with you, LSU. You supported South Carolina years ago. God damn, you're dumb. Holy shit.
Rob, get out your feelings.
Never
Get out your feelings.
South Carolina ever. Look, let me tell you about my South Carolina story. When I was in high school, my ROTC Cadet Corps, to raise funds for ROTC Cadet Corps stuff, we had to go, and one of our fundraisers was we sold Cokes at Williams-Brice Stadium, right? So I went to Williams-Brice Stadium, and I wore a Clemson hat because I'm a Clemson fan, and the fucking sun was out. I didn't want to roast my eyes. They kicked me out of the stadium because I was wearing a Clemson hat. And as a 15-year-old, I walked through the ghetto on Bluff Road to get down to my mommy to pick me up because the University of South Carolina kicked me out because they can't have somebody up there, some kid that's trying to help his ROTC Cadet Corps because he's wearing a Clemson hat. I hated them before then, but I hate them even more now. I'd rather die in a fire than root for South Carolina to do anything. Anything.
I'll tell you what. That's how they feel at UL. and just because of it, because I don't care, because I like them both. When I go to UL games, I wear LSU something, even if it's just LSU flip flops, just to piss them off. Which I did the last time I went to LSU game, UL game, and it pissed them off. But I still got to stay.
No, they kicked me out because I wore a Clemson hat. But that was I hated them before then because I don't know. I've just always despised them. So anyway, all right. Well, next week when we come on, we'll be talking about America's team, the Phoenix Suns, and how they eliminated evil. We'll be talking about whether LSU pulled off the upset. Will South Carolina be a team that's in the mix to advance to their super regional? And can we have 6 teams from the SEC in the College World Series? It might as well just be the SEC Invitational at that point, right?
Pretty much.
So we'll talk about that next week on.
Well, I don't know. I didn't check to see exactly how all of the regionals match up with the super regionals. But if LSU wins its regional, they will play in Knoxville against Tennessee. So you'll be eliminating.
Look at the bracket right now. We can see if it'll happen. Hold on. We've already been here. We might as well fucking do it right now. Let's see.
Got it right here too.
I got bracket revealed right here. Let me see if it's possible.
Count it up.
Hold on, I'm looking at it right now. All right, come on, bracket. Show up here, fuckstick. Bracket. Here we go. The bracket, ladies and gentlemen, for the NCAA tournament. So the way it's set up, just tell me the goddamn bracket. No one gives a shit. Come on. Where's the bracket? Oh, here it is. Okay. So Austin Regional will play Gainesville Regional. Fayetteville against the Ruston. Stanford gets Lubbock. South Bend gets Starkville. Fort Worth gets the Columbia Regional. Oxford gets Tucson. Greenville gets Nashville. Knoxville gets Eugene. So in theory, you could have all of the SEC 1 seeds theoretically make the College World Series. Yeah. You could have Tennessee, Vanderbilt. I mean, just the way the schedule is set up, you could do that.
Yeah, Arkansas, Tennessee, Vandy, South Carolina. Well, South Carolina's not the 1 seed, but South Carolina could win their regional. Yeah. Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah.
Mississippi State.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the other SEC teams. Alabama's up there, but I don't think they're going to do well. No, but I mean, in theory, you could have. So SEC has 1, 15, 7, 12, the 3, and the 4, in addition to South Carolina being a 2. Yeah, I mean, you could. Someone was telling me 6 teams from the SEC make it. I don't know if it's going to be that much, but how many do you think it's going to be? I think I'm going with 4. I'm going to go 4. I think 4 is a solid number. Over under a 4. You guys buying or not?
To the World Series.
To the World Series. Advance to the World Series. I got 4.
I got 3.
3?
Yeah. I thought 4 was conservative. Didn't you think 4 is conservative, Dave?
I do. I think Vandy makes it. I think Tennessee makes it. I think Arkansas makes it. I think Mississippi State makes it. I mean, that's 4 right there. And, I mean, South Carolina could make it. They could.
Well, they could. They could all make it, but I don't see South Carolina making it.
But there's at least 4 solid with Tennessee, Arkansas, Vandy, and Mississippi State. And then you could probably do an Ole Miss.
Of course you could do an Ole Miss.
South Carolina.
I'm playing I'm just guessing only 3 make it. There's no rhyme or reason to that. Yes, 4 could make it, 5 could make it.
Well, here's my 4. I've got Arkansas, I've got Tennessee, I've got Vanderbilt and Mississippi State. I've got those 4. That's my.
I think those are the 4 that definitely make it. And I think you'll have a 5th. I think we're at 5.
Well, I mean, but when you look at it, I don't think I'm being like a far fetched with that. I mean, you can make an argument for Ole Miss. You can make an argument for who's the other team that's here. I mean, we talk about Starkville with them, yeah. Florida is a team that, if you look at their regional
coach,
yeah, I mean,
that's a guy that won it. That's a guy that won it 3 years ago. So,
yeah, so they're not that far fetched at all. So.
And speaking of that coach, that's another conversation we could have another day. Is who's taking Maneri's place?
Oh Jesus, I don't want to get into all that. It's too late. But
that's what I said. That's for another day.
I offer you guys Monty Lee and a bucket of baseballs. You can have it.
Y'all can have Maneri.
What the fuck? I mean, he might do fucking better than fucking.
LSU fans were really salty with Maneri towards the end, but.
Why are you salty with him? He's been good.
He has been.
No, I said y'all could have
baseball fans are spoiled because of the Bertman era.
Guys are fucking spoiled altogether. I mean, that doesn't matter to the gnome though. He'll just pick up Lafayette or La Tech or whatever other fucking Cajun school that's out there.
I don't mind you being a dick. I don't mind you being a dick about it, and you keep saying I have 8 teams. But please stop bringing up Louisiana Tech. I hate Louisiana Tech.
Why would you hate
Louisiana Tech? That's exactly why he's going to keep bringing it up. Gotta play the game, baby.
Gotta play the game, baby. All right, with that, this show's a wrap.